Hello, everyone. I would like to talk a little bit with you about the changes and the direction of the economy in this era we are living in. While designing my own financial life, the system stopped me at a single point. Even though my major is economics, and I know the theory of economics very well, I had significant deficiencies in practical financial intelligence. This pushed me to learn, because no matter what I did, my degree in economics didn't change anything in practice as long as I didn't improve my financial intelligence. As I said, my processes and my own financial levels have always pushed me to learn. After fully and well understanding the game, I could use what I knew as I wished. For this reason, while I am writing my book and teaching you, I encourage more people to invest in themselves, work on their financial intelligence, learn about financial systems, and think about technical terms. I provide training on the importance of living without being dependent on a company, an institution, a spouse, or anyone else, and the necessity of standing on their own financially. From this age and at this stage, it feels like a personal responsibility for me, because I have now filled up, and I am trying to benefit you by overflowing. If someone asks how I feel about the future, I would say that I am both very happy and very anxious about it. Well, if there are those who ask what I think about the economy, I am very happy for one segment, but I am extremely worried for another segment. I wish I were wrong about what is going to happen economically. Perhaps the stock market will always rise. Perhaps governments will keep the promises they made to their people. Maybe people will escape bad debt and become wealthy through good debt. Perhaps the financial systems in the world will become more equitable and fair. I don't know. Maybe real estate prices will keep rising without stopping and everyone's home value will increase. Maybe millions of people will live happily on minimum wage like sultans. Perhaps inflation will disappear and prices will even drop every day. Thus, money will stay in people's pockets. Maybe every family, every father can provide a financially happy life for their family. As I said, maybe, what am I doing? Like an ant, I am trying to carry a bucket of water to a huge burning forest. When I look at history, assuming that the average human lifespan is 75 years, it seems that at least 2 periods of global stagnation are experienced. In this process, it faces continuous human population explosions for thousands of years. It comes face to face with major crises. Additionally, the war, its pain, and other traumatic events experienced are also part of the issue. So what conclusion do we draw from this? How do we, as finance professionals, evaluate this? No matter how negative the adversities in the world may be, they actually show us one thing: big changes and big opportunities. Generally for capitalists, that is, for many financiers, major recessions and crises bring great wealth. Because during these times, those who make the right financial moves will see significant changes in the appropriate price-to-earnings levels. I say that this period will be wonderful for some and terrible for others. Unfortunately, those who are stuck in the cycles of the age will find themselves on the side of those who suffer in this century. Because their minds are filled with ideas from the old times, they go to school, receive a good education, become good employees, and retire. Then they spend their lives in retirement. During this process, their living standards may or may not be as they imagined. There is a significant uncertainty here. Yes, education, a good school, and learning are now much more important than they used to be. But the reason for this is no longer to have a secure job, to be comfortable in retirement, or to avoid dealing with financial problems for a lifetime, my friends. Learning is now given more importance. The reason for this is to avoid being trapped by the challenges of the age, to be able to think freely, and to emerge with the ability to rewrite one's own life and destiny on one's own terms. Don't let anyone tell me that this situation is fair. There is no longer a fair country in Turkey or in the world. Turkey is a free country. There are many hardworking people, and there are many who are alert. There are those who dream of money and those who dream of success. There are also those who dream of success in order not to dream of money. What is fair here is not to take the rich's money and give it to the poor. It emerges here when fair individuals engage in more creative thinking, to earn more money, receive better education, and have opportunities presented to them equally. There are also discriminations, especially when you enter the workforce. They seriously set you apart. In workplaces, your levels are different and your salaries are different. They give you status according to your level, and they show respect based on your status. For example, your manager addresses you by your name, but you refer to them as Mr. or Ms. However, When true wealth enters your life and you move away from the idea of being an employee, you somehow become equal with everyone. The most important place where discrimination does not exist and people are not marginalized is the world of the wealthy. The only requirement for the rich is that you possess financial intelligence just like them. When you possess financial intelligence like them, they will also open their arms to you because your feelings and thought patterns will nourish them as well. Therefore, I believe that the most important concept of the new century is taking risks. It is choosing freedom over security. Believing that you can have a wealthy life means designing and planning for it. Before implementing, it is important to increase financial knowledge and expertise. It is about believing that every financial problem can be solved with financial intelligence. It involves updating beliefs about money, investing in oneself to identify personal weaknesses, and replacing them with strengths. Yes, we are in a world less fair in the 21st century. We are in a world less equitable. We are in a world with more discrimination. The negative words we mentioned actually only apply in the world of the poor. Fai, for the wealthy, ni, if you have money, if your financial intelligence is high, if you see financial problems as opportunities, and as a result, if you have succeeded in designing and achieving your own successful life vision, all of these will embrace you, regardless of what you are, who you are, and where you come from. Those who motivated me to do this are not the ones who do not believe in designing a wealthy life, nor is it about freeing people from a poverty mindset. What drives me to do this work is to be able to provide mentorship or guidance to those who know there is truly a light and need support to hold on to it. My main audience is really about supporting those who believe in that crumb and fight for it, to provide them with shelter and assistance. It is to guide and support those who believe that life comes from carving their own path, investing in themselves, and then investing in the world to be beneficial to it, but do not know where to start, how to chart a course, or what they need to achieve. Whatever your decision may be, whether you live with a poverty mindset, ignore money, create a set of wealthy ideas, or design and live your own rich life, there is one sentence I can tell you. Financial freedom can be free, but it is not cheap. Like every freedom, financial freedom also has a cost. If you ask me, it is worth 100%. The key point is that financial freedom does not require money. Financial freedom does not require good teaching. Financial freedom does not require taking risks. The cost of financial freedom is measured by your dreams, desires, intentions, and your ability and capability to overcome the obstacles that arise on the path you take with determination in this process. So, are you ready to pay this price? And when you don't pay this, will you be ready to pay the prices in the other option? If you have achieved financial freedom, all I can say is congratulations. And please, support others in following your path as well. Help them. If they need guidance, please do not withhold this information from them. Guide them, but do not stand in their way. Step aside so they can find their own paths. Because there are many roads to financial freedom, and the world really needs people who have achieved success and can guide others just like you.